Every single time you stream a movie, fire off an email, or jump on a video call, you're tapping into the cloud. But behind that smooth digital world, there's this massive physical infrastructure with a huge and growing environmental footprint. Today, we're going to dig into how the tech industry is basically being forced to reinvent the cloud for a greener planet.
So let's just start with a number. 1,000 terawatt hours. Just kind of let that sink in for a second. What on earth could that be? Well, it's not the energy use of a small country or anything like that. It's actually the projected yearly electricity demand of the world's data centers. And yeah, it's coming a lot sooner than you might think.
That's right. The International Energy Agency projects that by 2026, the electricity needed to power our data centers is set to more than double. We're talking about a level of demand that's on par with the entire global airline industry. This kind of explosive growth, and it's driven by things like AI, is putting some really unsustainable pressure on our power grids.
And this really gets to the heart of the problem. The cloud has this absolutely voracious appetite for energy. We tend to think of the cloud as, this abstract, almost magical thing. But in reality, it's millions of power-hungry servers humming away in warehouses the size of football fields. And all that hardware has very real-world consequences.
So how does all that energy use translate into carbon emissions? While the entire tech sector, information and communications, is responsible for about 2.3% of global CO2 emissions, and that number is climbing. This is not some tiny niche problem. It's a really significant piece of the global climate puzzle.
But here's the thing. This challenge is also sparking a revolution. The industry is having to shift, and shift fast, away from that old performance-at-all-costs mindset to a completely new way of thinking, the green cloud. And it's not just a buzzword either. It's a truly necessary evolution.
So, what even is green cloud computing? At its core, it's about fundamentally redesigning cloud services to be sustainable from the ground up. It's not just about using a little less power. It's about thinking through the environmental impact of everything, from the moment a server chip is manufactured to the day it's eventually recycled.
This slide really nails the difference, I think. A traditional cloud always asks, how can we make this faster, more powerful? A green cloud asks, okay, how can we deliver that same speed but with the absolute smallest environmental footprint possible? And that means actively seeking out renewable energy, designing hardware that lasts, and even writing software code that's more energy efficient to begin with.
So how does this all actually work in practice? Let's get into it. This isn't just theory, it's a massive engineering effort with some seriously clever solutions. And it all starts at the most basic level, making the data centers themselves radically more efficient. And to do that, well, you first need a way to measure efficiency.
Let's start here. Back in 2007, your average data center had what's called a PUE of 2.5. PUE stands for Power Usage Effectiveness. And what that number means is for every 1 watt of power that actually went to computing, another 1.5 watts were just wasted, mostly on things like cooling.
Okay, now let's fast forward to today. A giant cloud provider like Google now reports a fleet-wide PUE of just 1.1. I mean, that is a staggering improvement in efficiency. So let's take a closer look at what this metric really is and how they pulled this off.
Right, so PUE is pretty much the gold standard for data center efficiency. A perfect score would be 1.0, which would mean every single drop of electricity goes straight to the servers with zero waste. Now, that's physically impossible, but getting this close is a monumental engineering achievement, and it's driven largely by one crucial thing: cooling.
You see, as servers get hotter and more powerful, especially the ones for AI, just blowing air on them doesn't cut it anymore. The industry is moving to these really advanced solutions, like piping liquid directly onto the hottest chips, or even fully submerging entire servers in a special cooling fluid. Some are even capturing the waste heat from the data center to warm nearby buildings. Pretty clever, right?
But look, an ultra-efficient data center that's still running on fossil fuels is still a problem. That's why the ultimate goal for the major cloud providers is to power their entire global operation with carbon-free energy, every hour of every day. That is a true moonshot, and it requires solving huge challenges in energy storage and grid integration.
So why are these companies pouring billions of dollars into all this? I mean, it's not just about being good corporate citizens. Sustainability has really shifted from being just a line item in a report to a core business strategy that gives them a real competitive edge.
The business case for this has a few different angles. First, and most obviously, efficiency directly lowers your operational costs. Your energy bills go way down. Second, having a strong environmental stance really enhances a company's reputation, which helps attract both customers and top talent. And third, it's absolutely critical for something called ESG compliance, which is a huge deal for investors.
And this statistic right here really just drives that last point home. Nearly 3/4 of CEOs see a direct line between their environmental work and their ability to attract investment. So in today's market, going green isn't just good for the planet, it's really good for the bottom line.
But the story doesn't stop with just energy consumption. The whole definition of green is getting way more sophisticated, and it's forcing us to ask deeper, more complicated questions about the tech we use every day.
For example, let me ask you this. Which storage device do you think is greener? A modern, super-fast solid-state drive or a classic spinning hard disk drive? I think most people would immediately say the SSD, right? No moving parts, it just seems more efficient. But the answer is a bit more complicated. Yeah, the common wisdom is that SSDs are the obvious green choice. But the surprising truth is that it completely depends on the full life cycle of the device and, crucially, what you're actually asking it to do. This is where a concept called embodied carbon, so the emissions created during manufacturing, comes into play. And it turns out that manufacturing a high-density SSD is incredibly carbon-intensive. We're talking over 100 times more than a hard drive with similar capacity. So for a job like archiving data that you barely ever access, the hard drive is actually the much greener choice. The big takeaway here is that the best tech really depends on the specific workload.
This whole lifecycle way of thinking also extends to e-waste. Instead of just tossing old servers, companies like Microsoft are creating what they call circular centers. They systematically harvest valuable components like CPUs and memory for reuse, which extends the life of the hardware and dramatically reduces waste.
So where do we go from here? Well, as hardware efficiency starts to bump up against its physical limits, the next great frontier is actually the software itself. Green coding is this practice of writing code that is consciously designed to be efficient, to use less CPU, less memory, and therefore less energy to get the exact same job done.
And that brings us to our final thought for today. The demand for digital services, as we all know, is not slowing down. So the real question we're all facing, from the architects building the cloud to individual developers writing code, is no longer just about performance. It's about how we build a digital world that is not only powerful and fast, but also sustainable for the planet that we all share.